I never thought that the perfect man in my heart, my husband Chen Huai'an, who has always loved me, would betray me one day. My husband went to the Shanghai head office for further studies for 3 months. Before leaving, he carried the suitcase I carefully prepared and wore the clothes I selected. He kissed me gently at the entrance. My daughter pestered him and said coquettishly, "Dad, I want you too." He picked up my daughter and kissed her cheek with a smile. Then I left. I said to remember to take a photo of me at the airport. Who could have expected that this photo would become the beginning of a series of future events? 6 hours later, Chen Huai'an sent a picture. The huge airport was crowded with people. The suitcase was in the center of the picture. The note said that he had arrived in Shanghai. I replied with a good word, and saved the picture at the same time. I looked at it carefully. I ordered the high-end suitcase online half a month in advance. The black leather is full of elegance. The 2 silver buttons on the handles are glittering, but they reflect 2 figures. I enlarged the silver buttons and observed them carefully. One of the figures is tall, taking pictures with his left hand and putting his right hand in his pocket. It can be vaguely seen that it is Chen Huai'an. The figure on his right is slender and intimately holding the man's arm. It is obviously a woman. I put down my phone and leaned on the sofa. My mind was blank. Then I called Chen Huai'an. The first 2 calls were prompted that no one answered. It was not until the 3rd time that I was connected. "What's wrong?" Chen Huai'an's tone was calm and calm. "Husband, I forgot to tell you, remember to wash your underwear first when you get there. Do you want me to bring you something again?" I asked with a smile. "You found me. Bring me a new YSL gift box. Our counter is temporarily out of stock." He seemed relieved and then asked if there was anything else. "If there was nothing, why didn't you answer my call just now?" "I was a little tired on the plane and fell asleep in the taxi, so I didn't hear it." "How could you be in the taxi?" I was full of doubts. "Didn't the head office send someone to pick you up?" "Didn't they pick you up?" "Today is a working day and they are also very busy, so I refused." There was a burst of noise from the other side. Chen Huai'an spoke faster and said, "I'll hang up first. I'm too tired and I need to rest for a while." I said, "Okay, go ahead." After hanging up the phone, I opened the chat interface with Xiao Huang, Chen Huai'an's subordinate. The latest message was what I told Xiao Huang a few days ago. Remind Chen Huai'an to have lunch. I typed and asked Xiao Huang if the head office had arranged someone to pick him up. The other party replied immediately that they had arranged it. "Sister-in-law, don't you know that?" But Mr. Chen thought it was too much trouble for the head office, so he refused. I asked again whether the arrangement was for a man or a woman. It must be a man. Mr. Chen is a married man. How dare he arrange a woman? His joke did not make me feel better. "Did you send him to the airport?" "Yes, but I sent him to the airport and left." "What's wrong, sister-in-law?" After a few minutes, the other party sent another message. "No, I sent him to the airport and left." "What's wrong, sister-in-law?" I thought of a reason and replied that he had poor self-care ability and had not gone out alone for several years. I was afraid that he would have problems. The other party responded, "Oh, so that's the case. Sister-in-law is really good to Mr. Chen. Xiao Huang just graduated and entered the workplace last year. He is simple-minded and should not lie to me about this matter." I thanked him and gave him a red envelope. After 3 rounds of refusals, the other party accepted it with trepidation. Then he typed and said, "Sister-in-law, in fact, Mr. Chen didn't want me to be too tired, so he asked me to leave first." I was still very calm. I continued to look at the message he sent, but I didn't leave so fast. I wanted to be lazy, so I sat outside the airport to rest. As a result, I saw a woman entering the airport with Mr. Chen. They seemed to be very close. I replied with a thank you, and then sent a red envelope with a larger amount. The other party accepted it very straightforwardly. To be honest, I don't want to believe from the bottom of my heart that cheating will happen to me. I have always been clean and indifferent. After I have determined a person, I will not consider others. I have been in love with Chen Huai'an for 3 years and married for 5 years. I think there is no problem with the relationship between husband and wife. Maybe he and this woman just have something to talk about. He didn't want me to think too much, so he concealed this matter. At this time, my daughter ran over, climbed onto the sofa and snuggled in my arms. "Mom, the kindergarten teacher said that we will be performing on stage tomorrow. So let us prepare songs by ourselves." Children are always like this, always putting off important things until the last minute. I stood up, searched for children's songs for her and casually asked, "Isn't there a teacher named Sue in the kindergarten who teaches you to sing? What have you learned recently?" My daughter replied, "Teacher Sue hasn't come to teach us recently. Teacher Zhang said he had asked for leave and I haven't seen him for several days." I responded and searched for a song, A Kind of Sun, for him to study, but I kept thinking about Chen Huai'an. Why did Chen Huai'an lie to me? Who is that woman? It's true that he is studying, but is there anything else? Although I'm just a housewife, my side job is a part-time writer, and I have an active mind. This means that even for a simple detail, I can think of countless possibilities, analyze their rationality, and the most likely outcome. Moreover, I am a hidden pessimist. I will prepare for anything in advance to ensure that I will not fall into a desperate situation. The same is true for Chen Huai'an's matter. I must prepare for the worst. The hotel where he stayed in Shanghai was booked by me, and he used my mobile phone number. There is no prompt to check out yet, so I plan to fly over directly to have a look, but I'm not sure. Did he book another hotel? At this moment, a message about hotel deductions after check-in suddenly popped up, which made me feel a little relieved. Chen Huai'an would definitely live here for 3 months of further study, so I don't have to worry about him running away. I still have plenty of time. I closed my eyes and thought about the next countermeasures. More importantly, I thought about where my 8-year relationship with him would go. I have a relatively indifferent personality, but I am always decisive and resolute in major matters. I do what I say and never procrastinate. Moreover, I can't tolerate any sand in my eyes. I must properly resolve the matter of Chen Huai'an. If he really has a problem, I want him to regret living in this world. Although there have been some clues, I did not act rashly. In the next half-month, I cared for Chen Huai'an on WeChat every day, and had video calls with him every night, telling him about my daughter's little things in the kindergarten. He would also respond with a smile. I whispered intimately with my daughter in the bedroom. Everything seemed to be the same as before, but the clue was discovered only by accident. My daughter has been particularly fond of singing recently. I remember teacher Sue from the kindergarten, who has been on leave for many days, so I casually asked Sherhua if we should find a singing teacher for Ye. Chen Huai'an was slightly stunned. Why didn't teacher Sue from the kindergarten take leave? He hasn't taught for several weeks. I don't know if he resigned, I said while closely watching his every reaction. One time when you went to pick up Yaya, you happened to catch up with their music class. Haven't you seen that female teacher in class? A trace of unnaturalness flashed across his face. Oh yes, the one called Su Qingwen, right? I've seen her before, but I'm not very familiar with her. Go ahead and find her if you want. I support her. I smiled. You can remember her name even if you are not very familiar with her. I haven't seen your memory so good before. Just because his name is a bit like yours, Chen Huai'an became more and more confident. My name is Su Yuan, which is a bit similar to Su Qingwen's name but not particularly similar, so I remembered it. We chatted for a few more sentences, and Chen Huai'an hurriedly ended the video chat. I leaned on the sofa and pondered for a moment. I couldn't help but connect the names of Chen Huai'an and Su Qingwen. As a full-time mother, it has always been my responsibility to pick up and drop off the children. Chen Huai'an occasionally felt sorry for my hard work and picked me up a few times. Half a year ago, when I was choosing ingredients for a weekend picnic in the supermarket, I asked him to pick up my daughter. I took out the calendar and checked it carefully. Sure enough, that day was Thursday, and the next class was Su Qingwen's music class. They might have met at that time. A woman's sixth sense often makes no sense, but the evidence must be real. I can't just rely on my sixth sense to determine that there is something wrong with these two people. I sent a message to the principal of the kindergarten. Hello principal, when will teacher Su be back? Yaya likes his music class very much. A few minutes later, the principal replied to me, thank you Yaya's mother for your trust. Teacher Su has been on leave for several weeks. I have contacted him before, and he said that he might have to take another 3 months off and resign after he comes back. The familiar 3 months made my heart tighten suddenly. How could I put his smile? Can you give me the signal? I typed and asked. The head teacher readily pushed Su Qingwen's business card to me. I paused and added him with my own real account first. Su Qingwen hadn't accepted my friend request for a long time. I took my daughter to wash up first, and when I came back I found that he had just arrived with a sentence, hello Ya's mother. I was busy just now and didn't get through in time. I'm so sorry. An irrepressible jealousy and malice surged in my heart. Who was he with and what delayed him? It doesn't matter. I'm sorry to bother you so late at night. I replied, when will the teacher come back to teach? The other party replied very slowly, making me wait at least 10 minutes, and may not come back for several months. My fingertips paused, and when I didn't know how to reply, the next message popped up again. I have been busy dealing with things in my hometown recently, and I can't come back to deal with things in my hometown in a short time. Oh, that's it, I'm presumptuous. In fact, I want to invite teacher Su to be Yaya's singing teacher. If it's not convenient for you, forget it. I don't know why, but I could actually feel the other person's relaxation through the screen. If Chen Huai'an was next to Su Qingwen at this moment, they would probably be relieved, right? Okay, thank you Yaya's mother for your approval, and attached a smiling emoticon. The chat ended here, but my investigation did not stop. I opened Su Qingwen's circle of friends again and found that it was open to me. Most of them were her daily selfies with affectionate texts, or food and beautiful scenery, and birthday wishes for herself or others. The time span of the circle of friends was about 3 years. I couldn't see the likes, but I could see her replies, and it seemed that many people were interacting. I focused on the circle of friends within half a year. Compared with before, the content I could see was drastically reduced, less than half. I speculated that he might have blocked me, which means that there must be something I can't see in it. Everything gave me a splitting headache. I really don't want to care about these bad things, nor do I want to use the possibility of cheating to speculate about my husband, but all signs point to the most. With a clear conscience, am I making the same mistake that all men make? I always feel that I am very lucky. Many things are not pursued by me, but they come to me on their own, just like the person who added me as a friend now. The photo I received made me confused. Who are you? The photo looks like a bed photo. There is a man and a woman sitting on the bed in the hotel. The man is Chen Huai'an. He is holding up his mobile phone with a smile on his face, and the woman is facing away from him, revealing only half of her profile covered by brown hair. I can't see who it is, but she is not similar to Su Qingwen. The WeChat account that added me is obviously a small account. The circle of friends is empty, and the avatar and WeChat account are both system defaults, without any flaws. I continued to type. What does it mean to send this photo to me? Fong replied. Is this your husband? How could he not be? This person who has been with me for 8 years, even if he turns into ashes, I can recognize him. I instantly understood his intention and replied. Who are you? Is the person in the photo you? Guess it and it will be true. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry and calm down. After a moment of calm I replied, okay, and it's you. If you add me, then do you know that I am his wife? Did you know of my existence before you were with him? Without waiting for the other party to reply, I asked a series of questions. What do you want to do by looking for me now? Do you want money or love? Or do you want me to leave him? Or do you just want to remind me that you are planning to withdraw? This time the other party was very straightforward. He said, money. Okay, if you just want money I can give it to you. Answer my question first. I typed slowly. The other party replied, no, my last name is Liu. When I saw this reply I was shocked. No matter how hard I tried to prepare myself mentally, I could not stop the tears from pouring out. Judging from Chen Huai'an's various performances, he can indeed be called a good husband and a good father. He works hard and we take out half of our monthly salary and deposit it into the same card as a family deposit. He will also take out an extra half of his salary and give it to me so that I can take care of the family. He remembers every holiday without me reminding him, such as my birthday and wedding anniversary. Our daughter's birthday and various festivals we will go out to celebrate. He does not smoke, drink or hit people, abides by the law, is hardworking, and has the same values as me. I love him very much. At least before I knew he cheated, I really loved him. I still remember Chen Huai'an once said indignantly, how could someone cheat? How many people would be hurt by cheating? Does he still remember what he said? Miss Liu sent a message saying sorry, please wait a moment, and then rushed into the bathroom, cried bitterly, and then calmed down. Fortunately my daughter was asleep, otherwise I would not be able to devote myself to this matter wholeheartedly. I have kept you waiting for a long time, I typed. Before talking about you and him, do you have anything to ask me? How do you want to resolve this matter? There is still divorce. How much money can I get? I smiled slightly. This man is really straightforward. Let's see what you can do. Although I am just a housewife, my parents are in business. Miss Liu replied quickly. What do you want to ask me? Tell me all about how you met him, how you got together, and how you found out about me. Under the temptation of money, Miss Liu told me about her entanglement with Chen Huai'an without reservation. All this really surprised me. He was actually a college graduate who was doing an internship with an offer from a Shanghai company. He was also a junior of Chen Huai'an and me. His youth and beauty were his advantages, and they were also the reason why Chen Huai'an was attracted to him. Miss Liu was as active as a socialite in college and was addicted to all kinds of club activities. Even in her junior year, she did not resign from the position of vice president of the drama club. In her junior year, the drama club was preparing for a performance, but the funds applied for from the school were far from enough to support the event. The club members found the instructor and got Chen Huai'an's contact information after several twists and turns. As a senior executive of the company, Chen Huai'an had a good income. I think the teacher also hoped that the club could get some funding from this senior. Miss Liu took the initiative to volunteer to take on this task and found I went to Chen Huai'an and made a request. Chen Huai'an agreed very readily and paid all the fees for a glance directly. Miss Liu later guessed that perhaps he saw the selfie in her circle of friends. After that, Chen Huai'an returned to his alma mater many times in the name of a glance and contacted Miss Liu. Eventually, the two developed a romantic relationship. Miss Liu explained to me that in fact, the instructor had told him that Chen Huai'an had a wife. He also asked Chen Huai'an, but Chen Huai'an said that he had divorced me and showed him a photo of the divorce certificate. I sneered in my heart. This was clearly a lie, but my heart was full of bitterness. Chen Huai'an was generous and Miss Liu, a female college student, quickly fell into it. Not long after, the two could not help themselves. After a night of love, they had more frequent contacts. The photo was taken by Chen Huai'an with his mobile phone, and Miss Liu found that the truth was also very simple. One time when he got up at night, he suddenly wanted to look at Chen Huai'an's mobile phone. So he unlocked it with his fingerprint and opened WeChat. The top one was me, who was marked as his wife. At this point, Miss Liu sent a message embarrassedly, saying that it was indeed wrong to peek at other people's phones, and that I would never do it again. I replied to him that it was indeed the case. If you didn't look at it, you and I were just fools who were played around by him. After Miss Liu learned the truth, she quickly broke up with Chen Huai'an. She said, but I feel that I have suffered too much and have been deceived by him so many times in vain. I was so angry that I found you. I had written down your WeChat account before. Miss Liu sent me a screen recording again, which recorded the chat content between her and Chen Huai'an. I read it silently and commented that you are playing a really big game. The other party was silent for a long time, and what are you going to do? I thought casually, I want to ruin his reputation. From the moment I learned that he was really cheating, this man was just an enemy to me, an enemy that must be fought, and Miss Liu was a poor deceived woman. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. As for Su Qingwen, that shameless woman who knew 3 things and acted like 3, she can only be my revenge on Chen Huai'an. And spoil, you are in Shanghai now? Miss Liu replied, yes, what a coincidence. I typed that Chen Huai'an is in Shanghai now with another woman, and the other side instantly sent a dozen question marks. Another woman. Chen Huai'an is cheating on several women. How dare he? What is there for him not to dare? There are only 0 times and countless times of cheating. He is so skilled in deceiving Miss Liu. It must not be the first time. Looking at the ceiling, sorting out thoughts and making sure that this WeChat account is bound to his card. I first made 20,000 yuan. This is the reward for telling you the truth. And then I made another 20,000 yuan. This is the salary for hiring you. Miss Liu, thank you, boss. The boss is generous. What does the boss want me to do? From now on, we are allies. I want you to help me destroy him so that he can't stay at home. I'm flying to Shanghai now. I booked another room near the hotel where Chen Huai'an is staying, asked for leave for my daughter, lied that he was sick, and then sent him back to my mother's house. Before going to bed at night, I was worried. I called Chen Huai'an on video and said, my husband Ye is sick. The condition is a bit serious and he has to be hospitalized. I may not be able to contact you in the next few weeks. He was stunned for a long time before saying, really? How many weeks exactly? I know, maybe several weeks, maybe even a month. I responded reluctantly, the nails of my clenched fists digging deeply into my palms. His first reaction was not to ask about the severity of his daughter's illness, but to ask how long I would not contact him. My heart fell into an ice cellar. I chatted a few words and then hung up the phone, got up and packed my clothes. Early the next morning, I flew to Shanghai and checked into the hotel. My phone vibrated. It was a message from Miss Lu. Good morning, boss. Have you arrived in Shanghai? I smiled slightly. This girl is really interesting. We don't have to meet when we get there. Just do what I say. Before coming, I asked Xiao Huang about the training time of the head office, which is 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's around 11 a.m. now. I changed into an ordinary t-shirt and jeans, and I put on a baseball cap and got ready to go. I waited for Chen Huai'an to come back in a cafe near the hotel. The window seat just happened to see the hotel entrance. Boss, Miss Lu, I'm at the hotel entrance. Now I'm just waiting for the scumbag to show up. Don't be too nervous. I sent a few messages to appease him. The next highlight depends on Miss Lu, the heroine. Time flies. The clock hands point to 1 o'clock. When it's almost time, Chen Huai'an and a woman suddenly got out of the taxi and stood at the door of the hotel. The woman holding Chen Huai'an's arm was Su Qingwen. I suppressed my anger and raised my camera to take a picture of them. The two of them were close like an enviable couple. Who could know how calm I was when I saw this scene? A call invitation from Miss Lu popped up on my phone. I turned on Bluetooth to answer the call and turned on call recording. A crisp and pleasant female voice rang out. Boss, I'm taking action and I'm sure I'll win. As soon as he finished speaking, I saw a beautiful and moving woman. He walked towards Chen Huai'an and the others aggressively. Chen Huai'an was obviously surprised. Through the Bluetooth I could barely hear his voice. Why are you here? Fortunately, Miss Lu turned on the hands-free function. I held my breath and quickly raised my spare phone to start recording. Can't I come? Miss Lu had a strong aura and snorted coldly. If I didn't come, how would I know that you had a little vixen outside? Su Qingwen finally reacted, her voice full of disbelief. Who is Shihua? Miss Lu said loudly before Chen Huai'an could answer. I am his principal wife. The voice stopped abruptly, and I had a blank expression. How could you be his principal wife? Who do you think you are? Su Qingwen was very angry. Where did this inexplicable person come from? Don't make trouble here. I haven't even met you and you still dare to say that you are the main wife. What if you have met me? Miss Lu glanced at him calmly, and looked at Chen Huai'an with disdain. Otherwise let Mr. Chen tell us who is his girlfriend. Both of their eyes were focused on Chen Huai'an. Su Qingwen tugged at his clothes, and said coquettishly, Shihua, say something. Of course it's you. Chen Huai'an first comforted Su Qingwen, and then spoke carefully, saying that we have broken up. Wasn't it you who proposed it? I did that because I found out that you cheated on me. You have a wife but you are still looking for a partner and let me be the third party. Are you worthy of it? You still keep saying that you have divorced a long time ago. What the hell is divorced? As for this person, where did you cheat her from? You are so old. And you are not ashamed to find a young girl. Miss Lu was full of fighting power. She kept talking like a machine gun, not giving them any chance to refute. Chen Huai'an was stunned by the scolding, but Su Qingwen got furious. Shut up, you have been dumped, and you still interfere in our lives. Don't you understand what people say? He has a wife and you are a mistress. Miss Lu was not afraid at all. She hit him back with one sentence. Maybe there are other girls besides me, and you are just one of them. What are you pretending for? Suddenly he smiled, crossed his arms, and his tone was full of playfulness. Or did you know it a long time ago, but you just coveted his money and stayed by his side shamelessly waiting for money? Otherwise, who would be willing to stay by his side with such an ugly and frustrated guy? You two are really birds of a feather. A perfect match. Finally, he pointed at Chen Huai'an and emphasized, also, I dumped him. I tried hard to hold back my laughter while keeping the camera steady. It was really difficult. Not only Su Qingwen but Chen Huai'an's face also turned gloomy. Miss Lu took advantage of the situation and vented all her pent-up resentment in one breath. She cursed them 800 times without even taking a breath, and scolded them so much that they were fuming. Due to Miss Lu's wonderful performance, many people have gathered around, and some even took out their mobile phones to record the video. It seems that Chen Huai'an's glorious deeds will soon spread all over the internet. Chen Huai'an realized that the situation was not good and hurriedly said, if you have anything to say, can we go up and talk first? Don't embarrass ourselves outside. But Miss Lu, who had already taken her seat, didn't listen at all. It seemed she hadn't scolded enough, and just when I thought she was going to leave, I saw her raise her hand. The slap was so loud and crisp that it even drowned out the screams of the onlookers. Su Qingwen was shocked and covered her cheek, as if she hadn't reacted yet. She was actually slapped in the face in public. The slap made her shocked and angry, and she lost all her face. Suddenly she screamed and pounced on Miss Lu. Even Chen Huai'an couldn't stop her. Miss Lu seemed to be prepared. She turned around gracefully, stretched out her leg and tripped Su Qingwen, who fell heavily to the ground looking embarrassed. You're still a little naive if you want to hit me, the lady said with disdain and still felt unsatisfied, so she raised her leg and kicked her twice. Seeing this scene, I, a bystander, couldn't help but twitch, not to mention Su Qingwen's feelings. She turned her head again staring at Chen Huai'an. He didn't dare to go forward to help. Miss Lu said word by word that you will be punished, and then she turned her head and left. A farce ended, leaving only Chen Huai'an who was helpless and Su Qingwen who was kneeling on the ground crying. The people around gradually dispersed. I put away my phone and hung up the call. Miss Lu successfully completed the task. Miss Lu said thank you boss. I replied that I had worked hard, and then I earned 50,000 yuan and sent it to him. Then I blocked and deleted him in one go. Miss Lu's problem was solved, but my road to revenge was far from over. That night, Chen Huai'an took the initiative to call me on video for the first time. After a little thought, I answered the call outside the hotel. Where are you? He really noticed the change in the background. I replied as usual. Ing said, I'm in my friend's neighborhood. I came over to chat with him. He's the one who invited us to his home for dinner before. My friend, you didn't go because you had something to do. Chen Huai'an wasn't interested in this, so he naturally didn't ask any further questions. I chatted with him casually for a few words and noticed that there were fine and dense scratches on his neck and even on his face. I said, "Honey, let me see what you are wearing today. Are you wearing old clothes again?" Although he didn't understand, he still let me take a look. In fact, I couldn't see the whole picture through the mobile phone, but it was enough for me to judge that his clothes were disheveled. I thought he must have had a big fight with Su Qingwen, and maybe he got hurt, so he thought of coming to me for comfort. Miss Lu's behavior at noon was a trap I carefully designed. Even his lines were carefully considered by me. "You are just one of them. You just love his money." These two sentences are like two sharp thorns, deeply piercing into the hearts of Su Qingwen and Chen Huai'an, and drawing an insurmountable gap in their already unstable relationship. For Su Qingwen, his situation has become extremely embarrassing. Once he senses a threat, he will inevitably step up his efforts. Sooner or later, Chen Huai'an will get annoyed and ask casually, "By the way, have you watched Douyin? It says that a man and a woman were caught cheating in Shanghai. So funny. Did you see it?" Chen Huai'an instantly became alert. "I didn't watch it. It's too boring." I used my original phone to cover the smile on my face. It was just that I suddenly remembered that you were also in Shanghai. It was quite a coincidence. He seemed to want to explain something. Well, I just perfunctorily responded to them all. After comforting him casually with a few words, I decisively hung up the phone because I had more important things to do. Su Qingwen's message popped up at the right time. "I'm really tired now. He makes me feel so strange." I typed a reply with an expressionless face. "Hug baby. If you feel too tired, take a break. You can tell me anything. Kiss." The other party also responded with, "Kiss baby. Thank you." Then there was a long list of complaints, most of which were about Chen Huai'an. I took a rough look and seemed to see a white lotus exuding the fragrance of green tea. I couldn't see Su Qingwen's circle of friends completely with my main account, so I bought a male WeChat account online as a small account, and added him after it was accepted instantly, and 3 minutes later, he took the initiative to say hello to me. "Brother, how did you add me?" It was a pleasant surprise. A friend recommended me to him and said, "You are beautiful." I was vague and focused on his circle of friends. Sure enough, I saw a lot of content that I had not seen before. Basically, it was his daily interactions with Chen Huai'an, or chat records, transfer records, and photos. They seemed very affectionate. Seeing these, I was furious, but I still held back my anger and saved them one by one. I refreshed it and saw his latest circle of friends. He had a quarrel with his husband. Why did he treat me like this? What did I do wrong? The picture was a 4-shot selfie that seemed casual, but was actually very hypocritical and scheming. At this time, news about Su Qingwen popped up again. "Okay, brother, give a note. I made up a name called you and made you a rich second-generation person, exuding luxury, high-end atmosphere, and the temperament of a rich man." Perhaps it was because the circle of friends of this small account was too dazzling. He became particularly attentive to me, calling me brother, and it was completely impossible to tell that he was arguing with his boyfriend. At this time, Su Qingwen actually took the initiative to talk to me about his relationship with Chen Huai'an. He had divorced, and the child was with his ex-wife. His ex-wife kept pestering him, saying that he was very lonely and felt sorry for him. He seemed to be paving the way for the next plan. Su Qingwen and my small account were very close and kissed almost every day hug, but his relationship with Chen Huai'an has deteriorated sharply. I can see the clues from the fact that Chen Huai'an takes the initiative to video chat with me every day, but I am too lazy to pay attention to him. At this moment, I am busy transferring property. I must make this man leave the house with nothing. I once said that I can't tolerate any sand in my eyes. I have psychological cleanliness. The fact that Chen Huai'an cheated on me has left a hurdle in my heart that I can never cross. I will never forgive him, and it is even more impossible not to divorce him, but I will not let my own interests be harmed. We have been married for many years, and a lot of property is shared by husband and wife. Although a direct divorce can slowly discuss the division of property, I cannot accept half of each. I don't have a formal job and I don't earn much from part-time jobs. When the court orders the divorce, it is very my daughter might be awarded to Chen Huai'an. I absolutely cannot tolerate this. After 3 months, Chen Huai'an's further studies were completed, and he specifically told me the date of his return trip and asked me to pick him up. The plane was delayed, and I didn't see Chen Huai'an carrying a suitcase until midnight. I was sitting in the car and looked for it but didn't see Su Qingwen. I helped him put the suitcase in the trunk. He looked tired and sat in the passenger seat. "Are you tired?" I asked him. He sighed and turned sideways to hug me. I retreated slightly and only held his head. "You are too tired. Let's take a break first and talk about it when we get back." I think Chen Huai'an must have been very uncomfortable these days. Su Qingwen has a new target, so naturally she looks down on Chen Huai'an, who is several years older than him, and Chen Huai'an. I have always wanted to know whether Su Qingwen is just after his money. The two of them have been in a cold war for many days. The love between lovers that they had expected has turned into hostility. Chen Huai'an must be in great pain. I have transferred most of the property under my name before, either to my parents or to buy funds, stocks, insurance, etc. After my parents learned that Chen Huai'an had cheated, they supported me very much and decided to hire the best lawyer to help me with the lawsuit, but I shook my head and refused it. I want to make Chen Huai'an leave the house by myself, which is difficult. A man will never allow himself to be left with nothing, unless the guilt in his heart exceeds his greed. Su Qingwen is just a breakthrough point. After only a few months of contact with him, I found that Su Qingwen is completely a typical gold digger. Even though we didn't know each other at all, he kept hinting at asking for money every few days. I could hardly imagine how much money Chen Huai'an spent on him. I chatted with him again that day and got to know a lot of things. Seems that fast food love is so cheap. I told him that his parents were urging him to get married recently. Su Qingwen sent a cool emoticon. It turned out that brothers would also be urged to get married. I replied, that's better. Do you have a partner? Fong hesitated for a while, but now he is using cold violence against me. Woo, I wanted to break up with him several times but he blocked me. I always felt that he was just perfunctory. The opportunity came. I typed slowly. Then do you want to be my girlfriend? Su Qingwen replied almost immediately. Really? Do you like me? Of course baby, I want to be with you. He sent several emoticons to express his joy. Wow, I like you too, brother, kiss me. Just like that, Su Qingwen and the fictional character Du started dating. After confirming the relationship, I directly transferred him 10,000 yuan to stabilize his heart. He really fawned on me even more, and our relationship was as good as honey and oil, very close, but he did not break up with Chen Huai'an. I switched back to his main account to check his circle of friends. The sharing about Chen Huai'an decreased sharply, and turned into chat records with Du. He didn't even block me. I couldn't guess whether he wanted me to relax my suspicion of him, or was really immersed in false happiness to the point of forgetting my existence. I was like a double agent, dating Su Qingwen with a fake identity. First, I will be Chen Huai'an's gentle and virtuous wife, comforting his wounded heart. I think their relationship is about to break up. Chen Huai'an goes home obediently after get off work every day, helps me with housework and takes care of the children, and takes me and my daughter out to play on weekends. On the surface, the family is happy, but my heart is as hard as a rock. I am just high above, watching the hypocritical performances of these two people. Not long after, Su Qingwen took the initiative to say that I want to meet you. If we don't meet, it will only make you suspicious. I readily agreed. Okay, then you set a place and we will meet, but it will be a meeting of 3 people. The address is set in a high-end Western restaurant. I made an appointment with him and reserved dinner. Su Qingwen was very happy and said that I want to let you see the most beautiful me. I smiled and felt relieved. I also wanted to go out for dinner on the weekend. Chen Huai'an came to ask me, let's go out for dinner on the weekend and send Ye to my mother. I smiled and said we haven't been in a world of 2 for a long time. He was startled and revealed a strange expression. Since you think so, let's go on the weekend. I have the restaurant has been booked so we can just go there in the evening. I asked him to look at the reservation information and told him to turn away all the keys. On Saturday night, Chen Huai'an and I dressed up and arrived at the restaurant on time. We walked into the door hand in hand. The waiters came forward and said, hello, do you have a reservation? Yes, I took out my mobile phone and showed the reservation slip. The waiter compared it and bowed deeply. Please, I smiled as I walked in. There are so few people today. Most of the guests today have reserved a late time and have not come yet. The waiter was quite talkative and gestured slightly. We looked at the waiting area at the door. A customer said she was waiting for her boyfriend, but he hasn't come yet. No, the table he said is the one you booked. Chen Huai'an had already stopped and looked at the only customer in the waiting area in shock. The woman also stood up in disbelief, looking flustered. I smiled and crossed my arms, intending to watch this good show. Why are you here? Chen Huai'an blurted out. Su Qingwen was panicked and speechless, her index finger deeply buried in her leather handbag. Chen Huai'an stared, his eyes widened. You told me you were meeting a friend today. He pointed to the waiter. He told me you were meeting your boyfriend. No, Su Qingwen gritted her teeth. He heard it wrong. I was talking about a male friend. Chen Huai'an was furious, and even walked forward and raised his right hand. I leaned against the bar and spoke lazily. Jihua, you know him. Both of them were surprised, and finally reacted to the current situation. Chen Huai'an turned around and forced a smile. He is him. Turned around and exposed Su Qingwen behind him. Oh, teacher Su, I pretended to be surprised. Raised my head. She covered her mouth with her hands and asked in surprise. Why are you here too? Are you here to have dinner with your boyfriend too? Which table did you book? Let me see. We might be sitting together. Yes, Su Qingwen felt like there was something stuck in her throat. Her expression was extremely distorted. Her eyes moved back and forth between me and Chen Huai'an. Chen Huai'an's eyes were bloodshot, but because I was still beside him, he just glared at him hatefully and turned upstairs without hesitation. I waved my hand, indicating that I should try to leave. Su Qingwen was still standing there in a daze, looking very upset. We must have come to the wrong place. Who knows what you are doing? So your boyfriend lied to you, she spoke slowly, and with every extra word, Su Qingwen's face became uglier, and she glanced at him with contempt. I turned around and was about to leave, and he trembled and spoke. Su Yuan. I turned back, put my index finger on my lips, met his raised tearful eyes, and spit out 2 words with cold eyes. Don't make a noise. What's wrong with the restaurant you booked? What do you mean by a system error? A system error that caused us to collide with others. Chen Huai'an drank alone, and had already fallen asleep in the back seat. I switched to the small account and saw that Su Qingwen was venting her anger at me because of this matter. The restaurant, there was an error in the restaurant system, so I didn't make the reservation. Isn't that clear enough? I was a little busy, so I forgot to tell you. You can go home after you finish your meal. What do you mean? Su Qingwen was furious. Do you know how long I waited in the restaurant? Do you know how the waiters there looked at me? Now you tell me to go home after you finish your meal. I didn't respond to her directly. I closed my eyes and waited for several seconds before typing. There is a reason for this. What reason? The reason is Su Qingwen, you bitch, you don't deserve to love and you don't deserve to be loved. Then I blocked and deleted the consumption. I took screenshots of all the chat records and deliberately censored the information about Chen Huai'an so that people couldn't tell it was him. Then I printed them out as flyers and hired a few unemployed people to post them one by one near the rental house where Su Qingwen lived. I got his address by tricking him out of his house. I used a few hundred yuan A-grade bag to pack the flyers. The title on the flyers was deliberately bolded and enlarged in red. thanking Miss Su Qingwen for providing spiritual support to other men besides being in love, not only in the rental house but also in the kindergarten. After school, all the parents were stuffed with flyers. The residents nearby all knew about Su Qingwen's glorious deeds. Soon, the name Su Qingwen spread throughout the area. At night, when Chen Huai'an came home from get off work, he looked absent-minded and at a loss. He smiled and said, "Did you know about that teacher Su?" He was shocked. "What about teacher Su?" His expression immediately became alert. "You know what? I won't tell you." It seems that he cheated on his girlfriend when he was in love with her, and was scolded by her. I was amazed. How cruel. So cheating doesn't end well, right? I don't know. Chen Huai'an lowered her head to organize her things. I don't know who her boyfriend is or whether he broke up with her. I was eating vegetables while talking casually. I heard that teacher Su made a lot of money from that guy, but she told others that she thought the guy was ugly and old, and was only after his money. Zay Zay and her boyfriend were in love when they looked at the restaurant before, but they may have seen through her. She is just an ATM machine. This if it were me, I would have broken up with him a long time ago. However, who knows, this teacher might try to make some more money. You can't judge a person by his appearance. I looked at him and smiled. Have you packed up? Why don't you come to eat? You seem very nervous. Chen Huai'an's body trembled slightly. He said, I'm going to the bathroom. The cell phone in his pocket was flashing. Someone must be sending him a message. He knew it was Su Qingwen. Su Qingwen would not miss this opportunity. Maybe he guessed that the man who called himself Du was a trap, but he couldn't guess that it was me. He has no face to see anyone. His reputation is ruined. He probably can't stay here anymore. But how can he tolerate Chen Huai'an living a good life as if nothing happened? He will definitely use this as a threat to ask for money. Sure enough, Chen Huai'an's face was very sad. Look, he has to force a smile when he sees me. It's all about work and he's fine. At the dinner table, he took the initiative to join me, which is even more shameful of Su Qingwen, as if he had committed some unspeakable crime, but forgot that I was also his accomplice. I watched his performance with a smile, but I was disdainful in my heart, and even deeply disgusted. Late at night, I opened my eyes and the person next to me was sleeping. I groped in the dark to find Chen Huai'an's phone, unlocked it with his fingerprint, and opened WeChat. Sure enough, I talked to Su Qingwen about money. The last message was a harsh word from the other party. Wait, if you dare not come, I will tell Su Yuan everything. I saw it and wanted to laugh for no reason. They didn't know that I already knew everything and they were not fooled by me. I looked through all the chat records on the internet and it was roughly Su Qingwen, and this was a threat, demanding that Chen Huai'an give him 500,000, otherwise he would expose the matter, including the existence of Miss Liu, and Chen Huai'an actually bargained with him and finally parted unhappily. Su Qingwen had to compromise and sent him an address for him to meet with her. Chen Huai'an couldn't refuse to go, so she wrote down the address and put everything back in place. It was another weekend, and Chen Huai'an packed up early in the morning and told me that I had to treat a client to dinner today and would come back in the evening. Thinking of what was going to happen later, I felt very good and didn't care what excuse he used. I just agreed perfunctorily. After he left, I rarely put on exquisite makeup, put on my most expensive and beautiful dress, changed into high heels and carried the most expensive bag. I looked gorgeous and I will going to the battlefield. Women's slender high heels are their weapons. I first sent my daughter to my mother's house, and then took a detour to talk. The place they chose was a cafe. When I rushed over, they were already communicating. I walked over slowly. Chen Huai'an's expression, who was facing me, changed from dull to shocked, and then to the amazement that often appeared on his face when I was in love with him. Su Qingwen was very angry. What are you looking at? He turned his head suddenly and saw me, as if he saw a demon. I walked over with a smile and deliberately sat down next to the chair where Chen Huai'an was sitting. Teacher Su, why are you here? What a coincidence. We met in the restaurant before and now in the cafe. We are really predestined. He was shaking all over. Wasn't he meeting a client? I didn't pay much attention to him. I looked down at Chen Huai'an. When did Su Qingwen become your client? He didn't answer, but I knew he must be very panicked now. What is your relationship with him? I said innocently, deliberately making some intimate gestures. Chen Huai'an raised his head abruptly. I have nothing to do with him. Chen Huai'an. Su Qingwen screamed miserably. You are really blind. Why did I find you? Say it again. What is the relationship between you and me? Who do you think you are? Aren't you just a bitch who is after my money? Why do you look at it like that? I loved you before, otherwise why would I go to bed with you? You have cheated on me. Do you know that? Do you think I haven't seen those chat records? That's because you used cold violence against me. Didn't you say you would divorce him? They were extremely devoted and scolding. I raised my hand to interrupt. You. Have you forgotten my existence? Chen Huai'an said softly. Su Yuan, shut up. I suddenly jumped up and slapped him directly, knocking his head to the side. Chen Huai'an clenched and unclenched his fists, and slowly knelt down to beg. Su Yuan, let's go back and talk. Okay. You are really awesome. I stared at him. Should I give you an award? Su Qingwen stumbled back a few steps, turned around and tried to escape. I grabbed him, pressed his head and threw him back, then picked up the coffee cup and poured it all over him. I found that Su Qingwen would scream in the face of this situation. I couldn't help but kick him and told him to shut up and talk. Listen to my explanation. Chen Huai'an knelt and collapsed beside my legs. He seduced me. He just wanted our money. I was just confused for a moment. I looked at him, as if looking at a stranger, confused for a moment, or doing shameless things many times. Was he seduced or had been plotting for a long time? Did he really think I knew nothing? At that moment I really wanted to tell him everything, but no, the property and the house had not been transferred, and an outburst at this time would not let Chen Huai'an be ruined. I had to stay calm. Really? Really? He looked at me, as if he was looking at a savior. I raised my head. Sunset tears. Okay, I believe you, for the sake of my daughter. As long as you turn over a new leaf, I can let this matter go. Really? Chen Huai'an was overjoyed, stood up and hugged me directly, saying nonsense that I would change in the future. or that I would never do it again. Su Qingwen finally couldn't bear it anymore, and ran away crying with her back to Chen Huai'an. I smiled, and of course it's false to say that I won't pursue the matter. Chen Huai'an, your retribution is not over yet. To be specific, Su Qingwen's entanglement is not over yet. She started running to my house every few days, knocking on the door and shouting, howling like a ghost, and disturbing the neighbors in various ways. In the end, she was thrown out by the property management and even called the police, warning her not to come again. When that plan failed, she went to the kindergarten to stake out on me again. But all the parents in the kindergarten knew that she was a seducing mistress. She didn't see me, but was ridiculed and mocked, so she didn't even dare to leave the house. Su Qingwen's circle of friends began to be updated explosively, with all kinds of sensational and melancholy copywriting, posted for free, and each one told of her pain and regret after the breakup. Chen Huai'an actually felt sorry for her at first, but soon he couldn't bear it anymore. On one occasion when Su Qingwen came to the door, he beat him out himself, and I just smiled at her when I met Su Qingwen's eyes, indicating that this former couple had officially broken up, but had not yet achieved what I wanted. Chen Huai'an, do you still have money in your card? Can you transfer me some more? This month I asked Chen Huai'an for money for the 4th time, and he just frowned as usual and transferred the money to me. Why did you spend so much this month? It's not me who paid. I also bought insurance every month, so I have no money. I smiled apologetically and sat next to him. Besides, didn't I tell you before that my father's company is going to go public, and I want to buy shares in advance, so I will take more money. Seeing that he looked a little ugly, I smiled and added, in your name. When the contract comes down, I will give it to you. Look, Chen Huai'an was relieved indeed. Hey, you've worked so hard. By the way, speaking of this, I remembered that I tentatively asked Su Qingwen, are you still pestering your Mayu? Chen Huai'an's face immediately darkened. He was asking me for money. I sighed and said that this woman was really greedy. You are the one who has worked so hard. Chen Huai'an was very pleased and moved closer to me. If he wants more money, I can only give him the house. I sighed uneasily. Your name and mine are written on the property certificate. He must be thinking about this. Did he mention selling the house to you? Did he agree? I guess that Chen Huai'an's money is basically with me. Su Qingwen must have clamored for him to sell the house, or transfer the house to Ye's name. When I said this, Su Qingwen had no choice but to wait. She won't bother you anymore, just earn it back. Will that work? Chen Huai'an hesitated. Why not? Otherwise I'll ask a lawyer tomorrow and persuade her. What else can Su Qingwen do without money? Wait until she's gone. Our family can live a good life, isn't that good? Finally Chen Huai'an nodded. Yesterday I swiftly found a lawyer friend, understood the situation and quickly collected all the information. More than a month later, the house was finally successfully transferred to my daughter. Yeah, from then on the house is no longer considered as the common property of the couple. On the second day after the successful transfer of the house, I took the initiative to contact Su Qingwen. Teacher Su, do you want to meet? In fact, I don't think you are miserable at all. I lit a cigarette, watching the red light flickering in the hazy smoke. I exhaled like clouds. You have received his love, and also I have paid you enough money for compensation. Now you are just returning to your previous state. I don't understand why you hate me so much. Lu Qingwen was 3 meters away from me, looking nervous. I looked at him sideways. I should be the one to hate. What on earth do you want to tell me? He pretended to be calm. You're just a plaything. As soon as I said this, I felt the resentment in him disappear in an instant. I lowered my head and smiled disdainfully, flicking away the ash. Haven't you met that Miss Lu before? You should have some self-knowledge, right? Chen Huai'an is addicted to cheating. How can you be sure that he will quit for you? Su Qingwen was silent and didn't plan to say anything. I'm not young anymore. I have long lost the kind of youthful arrogance. I just want to live a good life. For the sake of my daughter, divorce is still an option. Forget it. I took a deep puff of the cigarette, and the cigarette but burned out quickly. I threw it into the trash can. I don't care anymore, you know? I just want to maintain my own little family. Don't bother me anymore. He is still my husband and the father of my daughter. We will still live the same life as before. As for you, you are just the spice of life. Leave early and don't humiliate yourself anymore. Can you really endure it? Su Qingwen's face was full of disbelief. She was so angry that her whole body was shaking. Her voice was trembling. He cheated on her and found many people. Why did you interrupt him? You are the one he cheated on. You obviously knew about my existence, but you still had to be the one who knew it. Now saying these words, don't you feel disgusting? He was speechless. That's it, teacher. I looked at him and handed him an invitation. The day after tomorrow is it's my birthday, and I invite you by the way. The address and time are all on it. You can come if you want. If you don't want to come, just tear it off. This is your last bit of dignity. After saying that, I turned and left, no longer caring about his reaction. Zhu Qingwen, you must come. If you don't come, how can I let Chen Huai'an be ruined? The birthday party was arranged in a high-end restaurant. Relatives, friends, colleagues, etc. were invited. Most of them were people Chen Huai'an knew. On my birthday, I sent Ye to my mother in advance. Facing Chen Huai'an's puzzled eyes, I was very calm. We must talk to people first. Ye can't stand this and will go to sleep soon. We will pick him up when we start eating. Before the banquet started, there were long speeches. I only spoke for 3 minutes and let Chen Huai'an handle the rest by himself. I sat at the front, playing with my phone, my eyes frequently falling on the door, waiting for the final result. Chen Huai'an and Su Qingwen, I relaxed, leaned back on the chair and suddenly felt very tired. In the blank eyes of everyone, Su Qingwen rushed in aggressively. Without waiting for anyone to react, she just pounced directly in front of Chen Huai'an, raised her hand and slapped him loudly. He shouted heartbreakingly, "You bastard!" The two of them immediately became the focus of everyone's attention, and some people cast doubtful eyes on me. I smiled innocently, pointed to the stage, and motioned to watch the show first. How come Chen Huai'an? And was shocked and tried to calm down. He looked at me panicked at first, then pretended to be calm and wanted to get rid of me. Su Qingwen, what are you doing here? How do you have an invitation? You go out first. Why should I go out? It's your wife's birthday, why can't I come? Su Qingwen clenched her fists, feeling love and hate. You forgot about me when you had her, so where did you put me? What was the half year we were together? I turned my head away to hide the smile on my face. This woman is ridiculous. She can be casual and fall in love with someone she has never met. But now she acts so sincere, pretending to be affectionate. Chen Huai'an was shocked. Who was with you? Do you dare to say it? Do you dare to post all the chat records? You are fine now, but you let me be splashed with dirty water alone. Are you sick? Chen Huai'an was also angry. It was you who seduced me. You just wanted my money. I seduced you, but you are old and frustrated, so you are not worthy of my seduction. Su Qingwen's words were vicious. You have a wife, but you still go out to find a mistress. You are shameless and despicable. Their quarrels were endless. Some people with good intentions started taking pictures and videos. I called the police and said that someone was going to fight and make trouble. Let them suffer. Come earlier, you've worked hard. I nodded to the guy at the broadcasting station. The guy had the same idea. Suddenly, a video started playing on the multimedia screen. It was the quarrel between Chen Huai'an, Su Qingwen and Lu Yan when he was on a business trip. There was an uproar in the audience. Chen Huai'an and Su Qingwen were both stunned. Chen Huai'an looked at me in disbelief. I spread my hands innocently. My voice echoed through the microphone in the empty conference hall. Can you explain it to me? My legs went weak and I even knelt down and shouted at him to shut up. I thought you had changed your ways. I smiled but my eyes were cold. What's the matter with this lady who suddenly broke in? Su Qingwen was tougher than him. She gritted her teeth and said, I want money. Give me money and I will leave. I've been waiting for you to say this. I have video and audio recordings of the whole process. Su Qingwen will be sued in court for blackmail. I will take back all the money taken from Chen Huai'an. You deserve it? I turned around and smiled. I have already warned you. You are here to destroy my family again. You deserve it, but why should I leave in disgrace? Su Qingwen screamed. And why can he live well as if nothing happened? So it's all your fault, it's my fault. I shrugged and looked at Chen Huai'an. If you hadn't come here to cause trouble, things wouldn't have turned out like this. In fact, this sentence is wrong. Both Chen Huai'an and Su Qingwen cannot be forgiven. But in order to make Chen Huai'an lose control, I must put all the blame on Su Qingwen. Su Qingwen. Chen Huai'an stood up with a roar and pushed him to the ground. He punched Su Qingwen twice, making her face swollen. He was still not satisfied, and even grabbed the dishes and chopsticks on the table next to him and smashed them down. Immediately, several people rushed up to stop him, and several women quickly helped Su Qingwen. When I got up and saw blood flowing from his head, he was unconscious. Su Qingwen, you bitch. Chen Huai'an's angry shout still echoed. I got up and left the scene. The police called me and asked me to go over to take a statement. I recounted the situation in a proper manner. I learned that Chen Huai'an was taken to the police station in the afternoon and detained for 10 days. Su Qingwen was sent to the hospital for treatment because of a slight concussion. After all, Chen Huai'an was tall and strong, and Su Qingwen's small body would definitely not be able to support it. I went to my mother's house first. With just one look, she knew that the matter was almost resolved. My daughter ran over happily and hugged me, telling me about her experience today. Then she curiously asked my mother where her father had gone. I didn't know how to tell her that she might not have a father in the future, so I just touched his head. My parents found a lawyer for me and first drafted a divorce agreement, emphasizing that Chen Huai'an had to leave the house with nothing. At the same time, I consulted the lawyer on related matters and planned to sue Su Qingwen for blackmail. Although there might not be any result in the end, it was good to discuss him. These 10 days were the most refreshing 10 days of my life. I took my daughter and parents out for a trip, and waited until when I came back the detention had just ended. Chen Huai'an looked like he had aged 10 years. He avoided my gaze when he saw me. I took him out for a meal and put the divorce agreement in front of him. Sign it, Wen. Chen Huai'an looked at me pleadingly. I made a pause gesture and repeated the signature expressionlessly. He was silent for a while before picking up the agreement and looking at it carefully. The more he looked at it, the worse his expression became. Wen, you don't have to be like this. Why are you so heartless? Let me leave with nothing. The car under your name is still yours. I didn't hesitate. I have already lost my love, and I will never let myself lose my money. What about my savings? I bought the insurance with a smile. What about the shares? What about the house in my name? Oh, the house is with Yaya, so what about Yaya? I sneered. You have been fired. You should go to the labor bureau to apply for arbitration as soon as possible. As for Yaya's custody, don't even think about it. You have wanted to divorce for a long time, right? Chen Huai'an didn't move. I didn't answer him. He just lowered his head. I don't know what he was thinking. I scooped up a glass full of water and poured it on his head. Chen Huai'an, I am not as kind as you think. If you sign and sue, you still won't get a penny. After the matter is over, I am still not as strong as I thought. It took me a long time to calm down in the car. Before I came, I packed all his things and stored them in the security room, waiting for him to pick them up. The 8-year relationship seemed like a joke. I never thought things would come to this. Su Qingwen, that bitch, had deleted my WeChat. I had no news channels anymore. Her life or death had nothing to do with me. I took my daughter back to my parents' house. My parents hugged me and cried. I told them that I was divorced. They were both very happy and made a lot of delicious meals. But I felt that things were not over yet. I added, "Once Su Qingwen," but it was past in seconds. Now you are satisfied. My life has been ruined by you. Su Qingwen took the initiative. Your life was ruined by yourself. I calmly pointed out that his mistake was that you knew 3 things and destroyed other people's families. It doesn't matter who started it first. What matters is that it is a fact that he cheated, and you knew the truth but you deceived yourself for money. Both of you are not good people. He replied that you added me just for this. Do you have money on you? Will you give it to me? Don't worry, I stretched in bed. You can go find Chen Huai'an. Okay, he beat you and he won't pay for your medical expenses. If he doesn't give it to you, why don't you call the police and sue him? The other party was silent for a long time. It was a slight concussion, not a minor injury. I replied that it was your business, and then deleted him neatly. Wasn't Su Qingwen making a fuss just for money? Now there is a great opportunity in front of her, can she not go? As for what kind of means she will use, it is not within my consideration. After that, I had a very smooth life. After thinking it over, I told my daughter about the divorce, who knew that she didn't cry but instead, he hugged me and said, "Mom, you have worked hard," which made me burst into tears. Chen Huai'an looked for me several times, but I refused him every time. He even brought his parents to kneel down and beg me. After I sternly rejected him, he started to play tricks and forced me to give them the custody of my daughter. I called the police directly and told them all to get out. The scumbag and the bitch finally got their retribution. Later, I heard that Su Qingwen was pregnant and forced Chen Huai'an to marry her. After marriage, Su Qingwen despised Chen Huai'an for being incompetent and not making enough money. As a revenge, she owed a huge debt outside. In order to make money for herself, Su Qingwen also. She had affairs with several men at the same time, which planted a green grassland on Chen Huai'an's head. After marriage, the two of them were very discordant and even fought every few days. I heard that Su Qingwen was beaten and had a miscarriage, so she wanted a divorce, which made the already broken family even worse. This pair of bitches and trash really lived a miserable life worse than pigs and dogs. After that, I never received any news about them. 2 years have passed. I transferred my daughter to another school and took her to live in my hometown, a small county. I picked up the literature that I almost lost and felt the beauty of life for the first time in a long time. Well, Chen Huai'an and Su Qingwen have left my life forever. Everything seems like waking up from a dream. Maybe the days will be plain like this. What is there to be dissatisfied about? The betrayal and pain in the past are gone with the wind. Until one day, I received a text message from an unfamiliar phone number. I keenly guessed that it was sent by Chen Huai'an. I sneered and deleted it directly, and put this number in the permanent blacklist. There were tears in the corners of my eyes and I was smiling. My daughter ran over and threw herself into my arms asking me, "Mom, what are you laughing at?" I said, "Nothing, I just remembered something happy." The whole text is over.